Taurus pistols, are they budget price bargains that are worth the money, or are they junk? Okay, this is kind of the general consensus, and you will find people on one end of the spectrum or the other, and everything in between. Okay, any of you who have followed my channels know that I do cover a bunch of different Taurus pistols, and the reason is, much like anyone else, is A, the price point, and B, the fact is that Taurus does try to be competitive, not only in terms of price, but in the design and engineering of the firearms that they produce. And just like with anything, there are good points and bad points, and I'm going to discuss in general a few of them, and I will be making more videos on these handguns as we go. So let's take a look at what I have right at the moment. Okay, so let's look at what I have right at the moment. Now, we'll start from the bottom here. I have a Taurus Spectrum Black. And when they first come out, they made them in different colors, but black was the first thing available. And I actually had a PT738 or something, the other little 380 auto, which I regret selling. It's been discontinued, and was an ultimate little close range 380 pocket carry. Well, I sold that to finance my Spectrum. The first Spectrum I had, I kind of didn't like it, and then years later when they dropped the price down on the Spectrum, I bought this one, and I've had better luck with it and like it, and I'll discuss that. But also, unfortunately, as of this year, Taurus I think has discontinued the Spectrum pistol. Now we got another pistol here. I just recently got this, and this is brand new in the box, even though it was discontinued at around 2018, 17 or 18, is the PT709 Slim. Now when this gun first came out around 2010, it was a hot item. Everybody had to have one, and this is the third one that I've owned. I had two others before that, and I'll kind of discuss that as we go along here. Now this is the TX22, and this was another innovation of Taurus. When 22 pistols usually have an inline 10-round mag, this has a double stack 16-round magazine. And all in all, this is a fairly nice handgun, but I'll discuss different issues I've had with it and things like that. Then we go up into the concealed carry class here. And I've only owned one of these. Is our GX4. This is the second one I've owned. The first one I got was just like this. I shot it for a while. It's got its good points and its bad points, but I didn't hang on to it because my preferred concealed carry is the 380. So, but this is the second one I got for testing. Going to work with it. And another interesting gun. This was an extremely popular firearm. Okay, and I'll tell you the reasons why I picked this one up. Then we have the G3C pistol. This one I got again on sale. It was one of my bargain sales I picked up. I did have a Millennium 111 G2C, an older version of a different type, the other model, which G2Cs are still available, and I'll discuss that too. The G3C is somewhat of an improvement and some engineering designs in here, and we recently did a few videos where I had a light strike problem with this and did a video of what I did to try to solve that. So let's talk about each of these pistols and my experiences with them, good points, bad points, and try to get a general idea of Taurus pistols, reliability. I have sent some back to the factory or to the company to have reworked, and the warranty and that. A lot of things to go over here. Okay, we'll start with the Taurus Spectrum. Now, when it comes to little compact pocket 380s, Taurus had two very nice ones. The old PT7, I think 738 or something, was really basic, really small. If you look at my old YouTube videos and look it up, I think I got the model number right. You'll see I had it. That's the one I sent back to the factory for warranty, and they fixed it up for me and got it done. And I ended up selling that so I could get the Spectrum, which this was, I don't remember the year, but this was a hot item. And the thing about it, how it got the name, was it would come in different colors. Okay, but black was the first one, and black was what I got when I found this. And the reason I got rid of the other Taurus is the trigger, I kind of didn't like it. And this gun here is a double action only. In other words, it doesn't have the trigger system of single double action. Double action only, pretty simple sights, but still. At close range with this gun, for what it is, I can shoot this. And when I bought this second one, I had an issue when I cleaned it, I couldn't get the recoil spring and the guide rod back in. Actually, I lost the guide rod. So I went to Galloway Precision. I bought a captive recoil spring and guide rod for 20 bucks, and this gun has run fairly well since then. The only problem with any of these striker-fired pocket pistols is light strikes. This is a double action, so you have a second strike capability, but the only downside of this gun is it's ammunition sensitive, and if you do carry it, you have to get, I just put the ammo I know will work and they're 100% reliable, but in these days of ammunition shortages and that, it could be difficult getting certain brands of ammunition for a reasonable price. But still, the gun to me is worth it, especially when I got it for under $200 when it was on sale, So yeah, they're good. A lot of people don't like this particular weapon for several reasons. A lot of people do. Okay, I've kept this one and I will keep it. It is my concealed carry pistol because I just drop it in my pants pocket or jacket pocket, and that's really all I need in terms of that. Okay, TX22 pistol. Now this one here is another one. Somebody came out, I don't know if it was Caltech or something, and they designed a 22 pistol that had more than 10 round magazine, straight line magazine. And this was a big deal, that it was an innovation to get, because 22 rimfire, it's rimmed, to get rim cartridges to stagger in a double feed mag or double stack mag. So Taurus come out with this thing, and this has 16 round magazines. They work fairly well, and it's a basic pistol. It's a full size. It's like a full size gun. Okay. As far as functioning in that, I've taken this out, did extensive testing on it. And again, 22s, any 22 rifle or anything semi-automatic, be it a rifle or a handgun, there's going to be sensitivity to the ammo. Some ammo, these things are like better than others, but that just comes with the territory. Other than sensitivity to ammo, anyone that's fired 22s knows it's common. This gun is quite comfortable to shoot. It's quite accurate, and I really haven't had any problems with it. Feels nice in the hand as is. The only downside is I've had issues with the sights. Now, if you find something readily available for a Taurus pistol, like the sights to be replaced on this gun, that means people have trouble with them. I had to replace this rear sight. I haven't not yet gotten out and tried to tune it in, but my next thing would be to get aftermarket sights and change the sights out. Now, they also make target models of this gun, which are a little bit more expensive and fancier than that, but it's still a very popular firearm. And when it comes to price point, I bought this in the middle of the panic, and it took me a while to find this gun, and I had to pay, this is about the only Taurus I paid close to MSRP for, because it was popular and was hard to find. And that's the thing about Tauruses. When they decide, I didn't know that they were going to discontinue the Spectrum. When they decide they're going to wind down or go with something new, their older models, they'll have rebates, or you'll see a price drop where you can pick them up quite reasonably. But that usually means that they're coming to an end or coming out with something different, and they want to get rid of their old inventory. All right, the PT709 Slim. This is another discontinued gun, and like I said, it's the third one I owned. When these things came out back in around 2010 or so, they had a big article in the gun magazine about it. What it was is people didn't like the fact that small concealable guns had a double stack mag. So I believe it was, and I can't remember what model it is, the 26 or something, but to kind of fill a niche, Glock made a single stack subcompact 9mm pistol. And of course Taurus, and there were several other manufacturers that made them, Taurus jumped on the bandwagon and came out with this gun. Now, this gun is an older design. You can tell by the nomenclature PT709. That's the older model numbers and that they had. And this pistol has that locking system. They didn't send you a padlock with this. There's an Allen key that will, when you rotate it, totally locks up the gun. That was Taurus's old system. I had that on another older Taurus pistol, and I think the Spectrums had something similar to it when they first came out, but they dropped that. And this gun has an older style sight, which is quite similar to the one on the 22. Okay. And when I cover this pistol in depth, we'll talk about that. This has some other features on it which were dropped. One is that loaded chamber indicator, which on any of the newer 9s, they just have a hole where you look in and you could see the brass, okay, which helps keep the price down. And these guns, I remember paying close to $300 for them. Now, the first one I owned was great, worked fine, and I loved it. A friend of mine seen it, and you know, I figured what, they're around, they're popular, and the prices were dropping. So I ended up, a friend of mine bought it from me, and then about 6 months later, I said, you know, I missed that gun. I went and bought another one. And there were a few small issues with that gun, okay? One was the frame, or the polymer frame here was, I don't know if there was a casting defect in it. There were some small issues there. But all in all, I was impressed with the gun. The fact it's thin. This gun is thinner. The Slim, got its name, is thinner than all the other little subcompact pistols or compact 9s. And reminiscent, it's a nice weapon. Taurus discontinued it, and what they replaced it with is they have a G2S, which is a single stack. But still, I checked the measurements. this is still a very thin gun, which makes it easy to carry inside your waist. You know, the bulk isn't there. But the popularity of high-capacity magazines and a subcompact gun, this went to the wayside. This is a popular gun. People do like it. There are issues with the trigger, the extractor, and they had trouble with the sights breaking on them. But like I said, there's good points and bad points with all of these guns. But I got another one because in a way now looking at it again, this third one, I see why I originally liked it, and it did keep up with the competitors. When they first come out and tested them and did articles in gun magazines, this gun kept up for a price point that was way lower than the competitors' models, and this gun held up real good. Okay, so something to think about. So as Taurus progressed with these guns, the evolution of it, you had the G2C and then some improvements because the G2 and the G3 have 15-shot full-sized handguns, okay? Which is G3, you can get it still in a full-sized pistol with a longer barrel in the 15 round, and same with the G2, or which was the Millennium P111 was originally the old design, and I had a PT111 G2C, and that gun, really liked it. It shot well. I think that had, the difference is that had the older magazine or the loaded chamber indicator like on the Slim. It also had that lock where you can lock it with the Allen key to lock up the gun. That has since been dropped from the Taurus line, okay? And I think it had an adjustable, much like the Slim, and I think the G2 does still have this other style rear sight 3-dot. Now, the improvements on a G3 is you have a blacked out rear sight and just a single white dot on the front. And the 12-round magazines, which these come with the finger groove on, and you get 2 mags with this. This is a decent pistol. The size is a bit wider and heavier. It's not as slim as the Slim as you see here. And also Taurus started putting the aggressive finish into its plastic, where the older guns like the Slim were smooth, and you can buy grip covers that put more aggressive texture onto the, you know, you glue them on there or stick them on there. I've seen that. So as Taurus evolved, you know, they re-engineered their guns. The trigger and the trigger safety on this pistol is much better than the earlier design of the Slim, with the trigger safety and that. The only issue I've had with this gun, and there were videos made, I have them up on my different channels, I got light strikes with the majority of the foreign-made ammunition. So this was also an issue. There were several others. I didn't run into them with it. And if you look up online issues with these pistols, there will be a gun analysis with common issues and common fixes. Light strikes wasn't on there. So this was another discounted bargain gun with, I believe, I got a $25 rebate. It was on sale. So I got this gun at an amazing price to where it couldn't hurt, even though it might have some deficiencies at that price point. What the hell? And honestly, I went and redid the whole striker system. Springs, instead of the plastic striker guide sleeve, I got a stainless steel one and a different type of retention other than the plastic retention. And it did improve the trigger pull on this gun something amazing. It was $40. I did a video on it. I did a video on the upgrades. And this gun also ships with 3 mags, which is kind of a bonus. 3 magazines other than just 2. So I haven't gotten out and tested it to see if this fix works, but hopefully it will. And this will be a decent gun, still at a reasonable price. But that was the only downfall I had, was light strikes with this gun. Last but not least is the GX4. This is the second one of these I've owned. I bought one of these when they came out. And again, why would you buy another one? I paid, in the video I tell you, I paid altogether $378 for it. Where this one I got with a $50 rebate, and being on sale, I got this pistol for $238, which is not bad for a micro compact 9 with 11 rounds in it. Okay. Now, there were some issues, if you watch my video, where I believe this gun was fired, and after I cleaned it and tweaked it, was looking at it, that's the case. So I really don't know how I got supposedly a brand new gun from Sportsman's Warehouse that appears that somebody test fired it. But not going to complain. Haven't gotten out to shoot this yet, and there's a couple other things I'm going to make a video. I'm going to prep this before I go. But out of all my compact 9s, this is the smallest. Compared to the Slim, got about a 1/2 inch in length. The grip's smaller and shorter than the Slim. And, you got 11 rounds compared to 7 or 6 in this one. So for some people, this is what's extremely popular. Taurus designed these guns. Now when they first come out, there was issues to trigger, and what happened with mine, I never had an issue with the trigger. Okay. Of course, I did not run a ton of ammo through that first gun. We're going to be a little bit different with this one. And also, they didn't Loctite the front sight. The front sight came loose. That was a problem. And the size of the grip for me, it's a bit too small. But that's going to be one of my other first modifications, is the pinky rest for $5. Makes a big difference. And an interesting thing about this gun, Taurus engineered it, is now they come out with another version of this, the XL, that has a longer slide. The slide will protrude a little bit. I don't know what they added, and it's said to make the gun, longer barrel is going to have less sharper recoil, longer sight radius, and they have another version of this. Or you could buy the complete slide assembly with the new barrel and everything, and just pull this one off, put the longer slide on, but that retails for about $200 when I paid $240 for the whole gun. If you really wanted the long slide model, wait for them to go on sale and buy one of them. Okay, that's all I can say. But this is another interesting gun. It is a good value at under $250, and we'll give it a run here and see. Like I said, I'm going to do another video on this when I do my little tweaks, and I'll talk about the issues I had with it. It was just simply the front sight coming loose and needing a pinky rest to get a little more control on this, because recoil on this little micro compact is something that you have to adjust to. Okay. Alright, so in general, that's my array of Taurus guns. As far as quality control, yes, I've had issues with some of them, and they do vary. I've had some guns I've got out of the box ran 100%, and some of these did not. Okay, So it's kind of hit or miss, but they do have a limited lifetime warranty, which some people have a good experience, some people did not have a good experience. And I've heard of quality control problems to where the barrels weren't machined right or different things. And, you know, they wanted to charge them for it to where it was almost the price of the gun, to where some people have sent the gun back. And whatever the hell was wrong with it, they sent him a totally new gun. Okay, so again, you hear stories. I had, the only thing I sent back to him, that little pistol, was done well. As for the quality control, I think it's gotten better because Taurus wishes to keep a good chunk of the market, and they do. And, you know, for every video out there about people that had problems and every complaint, there's much more where people are happy with these guns and use them and really like them. I mean, everyone's done some sort of strange video. I've seen one where they put 2,000 rounds through the GX4, 1,000 rounds through the G3. If you go back far enough to 709s, I did a run, and they did that article in the magazine where this thing kept up with the Glock and that. Back when it first came out. This gun was pretty amazing and shocked everybody when they ran them side by side in these tests, accuracy and everything else, and there was never really any complaints. Of course, a lot of these people that report on this are sponsored. Okay, I'm not. This is just my opinion. You know, it is kind of hit or miss, but at the price point, and that's the other thing, they keep these at a price point, or when they're phasing them out, the price drops down to where even with any shortcomings or hiccups, it's a tough deal to beat. The guns are accurate, and when you get them running good, they are reliable and they work. And, you know, the quality is there. And plus, with like surplus guns or anything else, there's enough people out there. If there is an issue, some guys have videos where they show you how they fix the issues, you know, disassemble these guns. You can go out, like looking at putting a new trigger on like the G3 or the old G2s, and they show you how to take these guns apart if you're into that, if you got the skill level and everything. And, you know, you can fix them yourself or send them back to Taurus and see what happens. Alright, so that's my video on the Tauruses. There's going to be more videos on me doing different things with these guns, and I'm going to get out when the weather permits and shoot them an awful lot more and have some fun. So stay tuned, guys. Please subscribe if you like the content, and you know,